Here we go. All right. So we have this number. This is my Abacus. An Abacus is a counting tool. This counting tool tells me what the numbers are. That's all it is this Abacus. It just visualizes our number. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So when we're looking at any time the beads are touching the horizontal bar, I just zero it out. I just reset my Abacus. And so I have 0 on my Abacus because none of the beads are touching this horizontal bar. The horizontal bar is what we're trying to pay attention to. The horizontal bar is what tracks our numbers. So when we're looking, we have our 1s over here and our 10s over here. Every column is a place value. So when I have this, I have my 1s, 10s, 100s, 1000s, 10,000s. Well, what does it look like? Well, this is actually 20. 20 is a 2 and a 0. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for liking the live.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall. Morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Ready to start the day with some math. Right. We're ready to start the day with some math. Excuse me. So when we're looking, this is actually 20. It's a 2 and a 0. Why? Because these beads are not touching the horizontal bar. That's not being counted. Because this is 0 and then this is 2, 1, 2. But in the place value, this is 2 and a 0. So together, this makes 20. So we have 20 on the Abacus. We have 20 on the Abacus, and it'll take me over here. And then I have my next number. Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So we have our next number. I just need it to be like, okay. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. For this one, we have our next number. We have our 10s and our 1s. When we're looking, we have our 10s. That's 2. And then our 1s, that's 1. So this is actually 21. 20 and then 1. When we're looking, we have our 10s and our 1s. That's what 21 looks like. Notice that the top bead is not touching the horizontal bar. These are not touching, so it's not considered counted. If it was touching, it would be a value of 5. This would be 6, but it's not. Here, if I have 2 and I have the top bead touching the horizontal bar, this would be 71, but we don't have that right now. Right now, we have only 21. So that's what that is, and then we find our path, because this is a maze. That's what we're doing. We're doing a maze. This book is a maze. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you're interested, I do have this book available in my shop. I have it at the bottom, pinned at the bottom. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall. Morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Actually, I should. So we have our next number. That is our next number. When we're looking, again, we're going to zero it out our Abacus. Zeroing out our Abacus means that we're just going to have it all 0. None of these beads are touching the horizontal bar. We have 2, 1, 2 over here. This is the 10s. And then this is the 1s. The 10s and the 1s. When we're looking, this is actually 20, and this is 6. So we have 20, 2 beads here, 1, 2, and then 6. 5, the top bead is always going to be the value of 5, and the bottom bead will always be a value of 1. So this is actually 26. So 26 on the Abacus looks like that, and then we have our next number. Oh, look, so now it's the reverse. When we're looking, it is 61. How do I know? Because 60 is over here. If I had 6, it would look like that. 60 is over here. So we have our 10s and our 1s. And then we have 1. 61. That's what that would look like. So if we had this one, this would be 16. Because it's just like how we read, left to right. Hello, Taylor. So the answer is actually 61. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining.
Good Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
So then we have our next number, right? We have our tens and our ones. We have 3 ones. Excuse me. We have 3 ones, 1, 1, 1, and then here is actually 6. So notice again, the top bead is a value of 5, and the 1 bead at the bottom is a value of 1. So when you put it together, this is actually 36. If I had it this way, this would be 63, but that's not what we want. We want to do the 3 first. So the 3, notice it's all the bottom beads, right? All the bottom beads is touching. If it was the top bead like this would actually be 76. Good morning, TikTok Tea. Good morning.
Step 2, greet the day, smile, and say, Good morning, city. Good morning, city.
Good morning, TikTok Tea. So this would be 36. So 36 looks like that. And then we have our next number. So for those of you that just joined, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for liking the live. So we have our next number. This is easy because what? We have all the beads touching. Thank you. Good morning, Ken of Cricket. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Good morning, Cricket. Thank you. Yes. So we have 90 and we have 9. Remember, thank you, Corbin. Yes. Good morning, Corbin. We have Corbin. Corbin from the Fifth Element. Dallas Corbin. Anyway, sorry. So we have the top bead is a value of 5 and the bottom bead is a value of 4. So we have 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So we have 5 plus 4 is equal to 9 again. So, thank you, Eve. I've got more. I've got more. Do you have some bubble gum? Do you have some bubble gum?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yes. Yes, it's an amazing name. It is an amazing name. It's also an amazing movie. I really like that movie. All right. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, thank you, Can of Cricket. This is 99. 99 looks like that. And then we're going to take us to our next number. So our next number would be, well, if we look, it's still 9. Because how do I know? All the beads are touching this horizontal bar. However, thank you, TikTok T. It is 91. 91. Notice that the top bead is not touching the horizontal bar, so that means this is not counted. The only number that's counted over here is actually 1. Thank you, TikTok T. It is 91, and it takes us to this number over here. So we have, for those of you that are interested and so want to keep learning, please let me know what you think this number is on the Abacus. So when we're looking, we have our number, we have a 2-digit number, we have the top bead touching, we have the bottom beads touching, so this one would be 60 and 7. It is not 13. 13 would look like 1 and a 3. That's what 13 would look like. But this one is actually 6, right? Top bead is a value of 5, the 1 bead is a value of 1, right? So 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, and then we actually have 7. 5, right? 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So our final answer is 67. 67 is the answer. And then we have our next number. We have the top bead is a value of 5, right? There's 2 top beads, but then there's 3 bottom beads here. Yes, I know. I know. This was before I actually even knew that that was a thing, but it doesn't matter. It should still be there. It's just not like... Anyways, so what number do we have this? Thank you, 50. Thank you, man. Yes. Thank you, TCJ. Yes. This is 58. Thank you, everybody. This is 50. This is 8. The top bead is a value of 5. The bottom bead is a value of 1. Thank you, Bill. Yes, we have 58. Top bead is 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have 58. So our next number, right, what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we will understand how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. You can do all of that on the abacus. So, but the first thing we need to do is we need to understand how to read the abacus. Hello, Forsun. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you so much for the roses. It is 20. It is 6. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. For those of you that are interested and are learning, and if you're learning and you're liking, please like and tap. Please tap. Do a 2-digit tap. Thank you so much for the finger heart. For Sun. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow, Jingle Jangle. All right. Thank you for the follow, Bill. Bill Doobie. Okay, so what do we have? We have 20, we have 6, right? We have 26. So the 2 beads on the bottom and 1 bead on top with the 1 over here. This is 1 and this is, this is 5 and this is 1. This is actually 6. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Melissa Ford. We have our next number. We have our 10s and our 1s. We're doing a 2-digit number. So we have our 10s and we have our 1s. What number? Thank you, TCJ. So when we're looking, right, we're looking at our 10s. That's our 10s and this is our 1s. It is not 9. They're separated because every column is separated. We don't combine the columns. We don't combine the columns. What we do is we separate them into individual numbers, right? This is the 1s, this is the 10s, this is the 100s, this is the 1000s, and then this is the 10,000s. So we have to see we're actually using 2 of the columns. We're using this column and we're using this column. So when we're looking, the top bead is a value of 5, not 1. This is what 1 looks like. So 14 looks like this, 1 and a 4. But this is 54. So when we're looking, thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Bill. Yes, does that make sense? So when we're looking, we have the top bead is a value of 5 and the bottom bead's a value of 4. So together, 5 and 4 makes 54, not 9. We're not combining the columns. The columns have their own individual identity. Every column for themselves. So we have our next number. What number do we have here? So this is where it's combined because it's the same column. We have the top bead as a value of 5 and 3 bottom beads. Thank you, TikTok T. It is, what number do we think this is? Because we have our 1s and we have our 10s. Thank you. Thank you, TikTok T. Thank you, Man. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Bill. Yes. So when we're looking, this is 1s. So here we have the top bead is a value of 5. The bottom bead's a value of 3. Together, because it's on the same column, this is 8. Thank you. Gasse Toto. Thank you for the share, Millie. Good morning. Good morning, Nate. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
I love my sound bites. I love my sound bites. I do. I really like my sound bites. I think they're the best. Good morning. Good morning. Stop it. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you do too. I hope you do too.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
So when we're looking, we have the mazes, and this mazes, right, is what we're doing. So we have, this is my maze book. This maze book is an Abacus maze book. What we're doing is we're learning how to read the 10s and the 1s. We have our individual numbers. We talk about how to read the abacus. We talk about what it looks like on the abacus. And then we start talking about the different versions of the number. So this is actually 36. On the abacus, we have 30, we have 6. So when we're looking, I don't know if you can see that, you'll notice that they're broken up into 30 and 6. Thank you, Nate, for the share. So then we have 30 and then 6. Make sense? So we could do it again, right? If we have 28, 28. So we have our 2 and we have our 8. And it looks exactly the same as the picture. William. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I am late. So we have our next one. This is the maze, right? That's what we did. We were walking through our maze, but notice that you can actually see the answers. So that's why I give you the option for the mask maze. For the mask maze, you have the option to download it to have a thicker piece of paper. So that's what I did here. And so the reason why is because you want to cover the answers. The answers are on the paper, right? Do you see that? The answers, and it's easy to see what the answers are. So that's why I use the mask maze to help us not see the answers. So don't be cheating. Hello. Thank you, William, for liking the live. All right, thank you. We're at 2,000. That's great. If you like the content, please go ahead and continue to tap it out. If I can get to the FYP, that'd be fantastic, because what I'm trying to do is I want to try to educate the Matrix. Welcome.
Welcome to the real world.
Because the Matrix, you guys are all in the Matrix and you don't know how to use the Abacus. But for those of you who have been following, thank you so much for joining back. Thank you, all the returners. So, this is what I call the reverse maze. The reverse maze is I give you the path, I give you the number. It is up to you to figure out how to color this in. Thank you so much for liking the live. Hello, Panda. Thank you so much for liking the live. Hello, Busy. Welcome back. Welcome back. I've always been curious. Thank you. Not a problem. So this one is, if this is 29, your job is to color in what the abacus is. So here I colored in 20 and I colored in the 9. So that's what this is, and you have the answers in the back of the book. I think that's the feature, answers in the back of the book. So anyways, so there's this one. Now, guess what? Well, we can go into adding and subtracting, or we can continue on with these mask maze. Whoa. With these mazes. Sorry, with these mazes. This is a 2-digit maze. No, this is a 3-digit maze. 3-digit maze, exactly what it is. We're talking about the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. So when we're looking, we have our questions. Here is our numbers. Notice it's a 3-digit maze. We are looking at 3 digits, meaning this is the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. So that's what this is right here. We talk about the big brain notes, which is how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we go into the single digit, we go double digit again, and then we go into the triple digit, 3 digits. So if we did 5,000, we do, 547. That's what 500 would look like. Remember that whenever the beads are touching this horizontal bar, that's what's being counted. Thank you, everybody, for liking the live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So when we're looking, this is 547. Notice there's a 5. This is a 4. 1, 1, 1, 1. And then this is 7. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So when we're looking, we have that number. We have 547. Do a hard one. Numbers are not hard. So I give you questions, right? These are example questions, and then I give you the mask maze again. The mask maze has the opportunity to do that. So okay, what number do you think this is? What number do we think this is? We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Thank you. It is 472. Hello, Merc. Hello, welcome back. Thank you, Busy. Yes, TCJ. Yes, well done, well done. So, man, did that make sense? 472. 1, 1, 1, 1. These is 4. There's 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then again, 2. 1, 2. So this is 472. We have our next number. Ha ha ha. We have our next number. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number do we think this is? So we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Thank you, TCJ. Yes, thank you, Busy, right? 628. Well done. So we have our next number, right? Thank you, man. Well done. Well done. So we have our next number. We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number do we think that is? Thank you, Amber, for the follow. What number do we think this is? We're continuing on with a 3-digit number. This is a 3-digit maze, and this is what the book is all about, is how to read the abacus. Thank you, Busy. Yes, 468. 1, 1, 1, 1. 4 ones, right? And then, thank you, man. Yes, and then this is 5. This is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then 5 plus 3, 3, 1, 1, 1. 5 plus 3 is 8. This is 468. Well done. Well done. So 468, so we take us to our next number. Even though we're only using two numbers, you still need to realize that there's a zero. The zero is what? The zero is a placeholder. So when we're looking, we still need to have our zero as a placeholder. We have our 300, 1. Not 1, 5. Thank you, Busy. Thank you, Busy, so much for the sticker. Thank you, Robs. Yes. So it's 300, 5. And we have our next number. We have our hundreds. We have our tens. And then we have our ones. What number? Thank you, TCJ. Yes. So when we're looking, it's 366. Well done. Thank you, TikTok T. So 366, and it takes us to our next number. Thank you, man. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Yes. So the next number is our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number do we think this is? Thank you, Busy. 589. No, forget, the toppy is a value of 5, so 5, 5, 5. But this one has no beads touching, so this is 0. So this is 5, right? This is actually, the beads are touching, but there's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Thank you, TikTok T. Thank you, Busy. So then this is 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. So we have 589. And then we have our next number. We have our tens, we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number? Thank you, Scene Cheetah, for the follow. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. So, hello, Nanny. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, TCJ. Yes, 278. Well done. 200. Don't forget, the top beat is not touching the horizontal bar, so it's not counted. This is counted because it's touching the horizontal bar. So when we have to pay attention to the horizontal bar. So we have 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. We have 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Thank you. 5 plus 3 is 8. So we have 278. Well done. And our final answer is, we have our hundreds, we have our tens, and we have our ones. What's the far right value? Well, it's exactly what we're doing with the decimals. So yes, thank you. 869. Thank you. So when we're looking, we have the ones, just like in regular math, we have our decimals. We have our tenths and we have our hundreds. Nope. Hold on. Oh, I have too many stuff. Hold on. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Busy, for checking in. I'm trying to find my papers. Hold on. I need to find the papers. Because I have a set. No. Nope, not that one. Where did it go? So, oh, here it is. Here it is. Got it. All right. So, once? No, it's not a once. It's a tenths. Tenths. We have the hundredths and we have the tenths and the hundredths, like we do decimals, right? So our decimals goes into ones, there's a decimal. Tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. These are decimals. So we do millions. So I don't know what a once is. When we're looking, there we go. So we have our ones place. Notice that the dot right here, maybe I spoke that wrong. So why is it starting the tenths? And oh, I see. I love the math. Okay, got it. I see. I was like, what? Okay. I didn't see all the comments. That's why I saw your last comment. I was like, what? Okay, so here's my dot. Here's my ones place. My ones place, my ones place is located with this label. It's just the label. It just labels my ones place. So when I look, I could do 6, right? 3,456. So when you're looking, I have another dot here. This dot tells me a comma. So notice that it's easier to see this number when there's a comma. So we have the thousands. So we have 3,456, but no, it's a little bit difficult to read. So if you put in a comma, just like this label, you put in that label, the label you can't move. It's always there. But I'm telling you the reason why it's there is so we can have it easier to read the abacus. So we have 3,456. Good. Why does it start with tenths and not the ones? All right, so let's take it one step further. We can actually make it 73,456.25. So again, we're doing the decimals. That's our tenths and our hundredths. And then if I did this, all the top is a value of 5. So let me help you count that.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 55 wings, 55 cakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Thank you, Rich, for joining. So we have 55,555.55. That's what that would be. So you notice that every number is represented on the abacus. So we could do a whole row of 6. We could do a whole row of 8. We can even do a whole row of 9.
99 problems, but a ain't one. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a ain't one. Hit me.
So we have 99,999 point, right? The point sits between our ones and our tenths, and then 9. Thank you so much, user 4353. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So then we're going to continue on. Well, what happens after 9? Well, 9 is 10. What's 10? 10 is just a 1 and a 0. Easy, right? This is not 10 because, just as we said before, their numbers are not combined. You don't combine the columns. They're individual numbers. This would be 55. That's why this is 55 and not 10. This is what 10 is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And there we go. So this is 100. We have 100, 100. The ones is over here. The ones is over here, right? We could choose the ones on this side like a Pokemon. If it was like a Pokemon and you want to choose one.
Pokemon, I choose you!
So then that would be that I'd move everything over and that'd be my ones over here. So it'd be my ones over here, then it'd be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. I don't know how many times I said 0, but it's a lot of zeros. So when we're looking, this would be a very, very small number, right? So then I'm still going to use this as my ones place. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one you use, which dot you use, but use a dot, right? Use a Pokemon, use a dot to battle your questions. So we have our 1. This is 1. So this would be like Roman numerals. We have 2. We have 3. 1, 1, 1. There's 3 ones. There's 3 ones, right? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 5. Notice the top bead is always going to be 5, right? Just like in Roman numerals, the V is a 5. And then we have 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. We have 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we have 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. Thank you for the follow, David. Make sense? Well, what's 10? Well, 10 is just a 1 and a 0. You could say X, but it is what it is. We have 10. This is a 1 and a 0. Again, this is not 10. This is 55. And that's it. All right, so we're going to continue on. Thank you so much for the questions. So we start at the ones. We start the ones because there's a dot. So I'm going to actually move back to this one over here because I like this one over here.
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
and we go back to here, and then we can count again one more time, but this time we can use the tally marks, right? Tally me bananas. We have 1, that's what 1 is. We have 2, that's what 2 is. We have 3, 1, 1, 1, that's what 3 is. Just like tally marks. I'm sorry, you can't see that. 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. We have 5. Notice the 5 is a slash, right? That's what this is. This is my slash. So then don't forget, there's a slash plus 1. So slash plus 1 is a 6. And we have a slash plus 2 is a 7. We have a slash plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. That's what 8 looks like. And then 9. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the slash. So we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the slash. So this is 9. Again, 10 is 1 and a 0. All right. So that was that one, this one, and then, oh yeah. So our final answer to our maze. We are working on this one right here. That one. Thank you. Good morning, Miguel. Good morning, Miguel.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
What number do we have here? Thank you, Princess Bubbles, for the follow. So what number do we have here? We have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. What number do we have? This is still a very interactive live. There is no sleeping. If you're not tapping, you're sleeping. You're not sleeping. If you're not tapping, you're commenting. There we go. That's what I want to say. If you're not tapping, you're commenting. Thank you, Miguel. Yes, it's 869. Well done. It is not 19. 19 actually looks like that. It'd be 2 columns, right? When we're looking, it'd be 2 columns. But we actually have 3 columns. 3 columns, we're going to do 8, and then we have the 9. No, we have the 6. So we have the top is a value of 5, and the bottom beats a value of 3. I'm sorry, value of 1. 1, 1, 1. So this would be 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. We have this one, which is 5 plus 1 is 6. And then this one is 5 plus 4 is 9. So when we have it, you got the 9 because that's what 9 is. But this right here would be 6, and this right here would be 8. So it's 869. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for commenting. So that's what that number would be. So this is the rest of my book. We have a bunch of Abacus maze. It's a 3-digit maze. I pinned it down in the bottom if you're interested. It does come with an abacus. You have the option to buy it with an abacus. You can either buy it with a 7-column abacus or a 13-column abacus because it's just bigger because size matters. And then notice it's a little bit bigger, right? There we go. You might be wondering why are we going to use a 13-column abacus. A 13-column abacus would be helpful for the bigger numbers because it's 13 digits. This one goes up to 5 digits because I have the decimal over here. You could ignore the dot, right? You could ignore the dot and you could redo it. It is up to you. I redid this one where I have the dot over here. So I have 1 dot here, 1 dot here, 1 dot here. So that means I can do millions. I don't know how often you're going to be doing decimals. But if you're teaching young kids and you want to show them how to read money, that's what that would be. What about this game? What about this game? How math? Yes, you're right, Jingle Jangle, how to math. So before we continue on, we're going to go through and flip through this Abacus book. So we have the Abacus mazes. Here is the 3-digit puzzles. We are looking at the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. And again, I show you the big brain notes on how to read the Abacus. After you read the Abacus, you'll go into understanding how to do the tens and the ones. And then we can start going to the hundreds, tens, and the ones. And then we have our maze. So again, I give you the mask maze to cover up the answers. That's what this is. I cover up the answers with the mask maze. That's it right there. And then after that, there's another one called a reverse maze. A reverse maze just means that I give you the number and you are to color it in. That's what that is. So if I give you the number, you're supposed to color in the abacus what it is. So this is 60, so 60 would look like that. If this is 893, 893 would look like that. There we go. And I have answers in the back of the book. So that's what this 3-digit one is. And guess what? If there's 3 digits, there's 2 digits, there's also going to be a 4-digit. So this is the 4-digit. What are we talking about? We're talking about the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. And so when we're looking, again, we're just looking at the numbers. Every column is represented. Every number is represented in each column. So this one right here is 1967. So when we're looking, we have 19, we have 1,967. That's what that would look like. So that's what this would look like. 1,967. Yes, thank you, Sen Pappy. Yes. So you forgot the 19 though. I'm not sure if you understand that's a 4-digit number, not a 2-digit number. So with this 4-digit number, we're talking about the hundreds, the thousands, the tens, the ones, the thousands, the tens, the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. So this is the maze. This maze has already been done. And then we have, this is the number here. So if I look at this number, what number do you think this is? So when we're looking, it is not colored in because that's what it looks like when you first get the book. What number do we think that is? It's a 4-digit number. Don't forget the top is a value of 5, the bottom beats a value of 1. So we have all these numbers. These are 1, and this is 1 here, this is 2 over here, this is 3, 1, 1, 1. So when we're looking, this is actually 6,708. That's what that would be. So that's what that number is. So if I did this one, right, we have, what number is this? 7,072. So don't forget the top is a value of 5, the bottom is a value of 1. So you have 7072. That's it. All right. So that is this book. This is the maze, and then again you have the reverse maze. So the reverse maze, again, you get the question, you get the path, and you're supposed to color in what it is. So this is 373. So 373 would look like that. Nope, that's not what the 3 looks like. Oh, I made a mistake. Yep, that's what it would look like because I made a mistake. So it's actually 3, 7, and 3, and that's it. So then that's what it looks like without being done. And then it is your job to figure out how to color in the abacus. That's what this is. All right. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. Okay. So now what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do now is we learn how to read the abacus. We're going to go into understanding how to move the beads. For those of you that are interested, here is I do have an abacus, basic math abacus for adults. Here is a walkthrough. Hello, June Jam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the comment. So this is a basic abacus math book. This is meant for adults or for young adults, like anybody probably 11 and older, because it kind of goes a little fast, but exactly the same thing, right? Understand how to read the abacus. We understand how to read the abacus. I give you the mask maze. I also give you this place card. That place card is supposed to mimic the one that I have, like this, like that. And so when you line it up on your abacus, right, my lining up of the dot right here, when I line it up like that, I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000s. If you choose this one to be your ones place, then you shift everything over and it'd be like that. So if this is my ones, it would be my ones, my tenths, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000s, and my 100,000s. That's what that would be. Why would we use an abacus? We would use an abacus to visualize your numbers. That's what an abacus is. Abacus helps you visualize your numbers. You can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. If you want to keep your brain active, like Sudoku, crossword puzzles, word searches, or any of those logical puzzles, you can use abacus to help you do that. Thank you so much. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Where did I go? Oh, there is it. Good morning.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Good morning, wall. Morning, ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
The other reason you might want to use an abacus is to teach children. So children would use the abacus to help with the math, with the number sense, and number flexibility, and number fluency. Those are all the numbers I can think of. And if you're looking for a stronger foundation of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, that's what the abacus does. It provides a stronger foundation of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. In abacus, what we do is when you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. But in mainstream, you have different strategies. You have some strategies on how to add, and you have some strategies on how to subtract. But in abacus, they are one of the same. I love your lives. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for thank you, Stephanie. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. I have to pin that. Thank you, June Jam, for the follow. So, does that make sense, Kaden? What else would you do the abacus for? If you want to do like, you can use it in everyday life. If you play games, you can use it to count your scores. If you do if you want to look at your receipt and you want to count it and you can add it, that's fine too. You could do that too, because abacus, all it does is it just visualizes your numbers. That's all it really does. And when you can visualize your numbers, you'll be able to know what to do next. Because in mainstream world, they always want to say, well, if you have the 6 and the 3 and you put it together, then you should know what it is. And I'm like, these are actually symbols if you really think about it. Just like the alphabets, these are symbols. And we don't really visualize and understand what these symbols are, but the abacus will help you visualize it. That's what that is. So, thank you, Kaden, for the question. So this is a maze, and then we're doing a walkthrough of the abacus for introduction. Abacus for adults, introduction to abacus for adults. So we do a 3-digit maze, we had a 4-digit maze, and then I do a reverse maze. I just gave you a little bit because I feel like that's kind of easy. If you want to do more and you want to do a deep dive, I do have those individual books that I showed earlier. If you wanted to continue on with the mazes. There's a lot of people that enjoy the mazes, and a lot of people did buy these books. So it is up to you if you want to take it a little bit slower. I have adding of the abacus and then subtracting on the abacus, and then we have the pixel art. After the pixel art, we do the adding of the 5 and then subtracting of the 5. These are all pillars. These are all milestones that you need to understand. I give you a summary, which is if you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. If you know how to add, you will know how to subtract. So that's what this is. And we just keep going. We do the 10s. Adding the 10 means borrowing and carrying over. And then I do repeated addition, which is another form of multiplication. And then I have all these activities. That's what this flip through is. We have the framework, and then we start talking about the more adding and subtracting. So what you're doing is you have all these activities to help you strengthen the concepts of adding and subtracting on the abacus. We go into the 3-digit numbers, and then there's the answers in the back of the book. There we go. So that's what this is. And then we're going to go into this one. Excuse me. All right. Okay, we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that. All right. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, good. So, we're going to continue on with understanding more of my books, because I got books. I've got lots of books. So for those of you that are interested, I do have the Abacus for Adults is inside my TikTok shop, and I will pin it for a little bit, and then we're going to go into the preschool one. The preschool one, thank you so much for liking the live, everybody. Thank you so. Wow, we're already at 10,000. We're very close at 10,000. That's really awesome. Thank you. Keep tapping. Yes, thank you. Abacus time? Okay, so Abacus. Preschool for this one was meant for children that are 3, 4, and 5. The reason why was because I wanted to start the kids young, and I wanted to make Abacus interactive and fun. So you'll see that what we do is we go through the individual numbers, and there's activities for them. Thank you, Stephanie, for the roses. Thank you so much. So we have our numbers, right? and we're just going through, these are activities to strengthen the concepts of what the numbers are, and then there's pixel art, and then we start going to 5 to 9, and then again we have the activities of what they look like. Here's just a flip through of what they're doing. They're just strengthening the concept of how to read the numbers. Then we go into counting forward. After counting forward, we count backwards. After counting backwards, we have what comes in between. So the idea here is to understand the relationship of the numbers. And then after that, we have comparison. After comparison, now we're going to get into adding and subtracting. So notice I actually have here adding and subtracting. In Abacus world, what we do is we do not focus on the result. What we focus on is the process, right? Marry the process, divorce the result. Because we don't need to say, oh, we need to figure out what 8 is. That's not what we're doing. What we need to do is, can we add the 1? So if I have 7 on the abacus, 5 plus 2 is 7, and I want to add the 1, can I do it? Yes, I can do it. So we have 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. What did I do? I had 7, I add the 1. So the idea is that I can add this 1 to the abacus. And then we have 2. So we have 6 on the abacus, right? We have 6 on the abacus. I want to add the 2. To add the 2, all I got to do is add these 2 beads, just like that, right?
Come on, do it. Do it.
Just went from 60 to, oh, really? That's fantastic. So, oh, here we go. So here we go. If I did the mainstream, right, we have the mainstream. You could do the dots, not a problem. You could do the dots, but in Abacus world, we don't do dots. What we do is we do Abacus, right? You could do the tally marks. So here, we could do tally marks, which means what? 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. We could do it on the abacus. We could do 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. But guess what? We can actually scale it, right? We could do 50 plus 30. You could do it with the dots. But then it gets really crazy. That's a lot of dots. Or you can do it on the abacus. 50 plus 30 is equal to 80. We can subitize. Subitizing means that if you look at the number, you know what it is. And we could do it again. We could do 500, 500, plus 300, 300. Gives me 800, 800. Easy, right? Simple to use, easy to understand. What we're doing is we're understanding that every column is a place value. So every column is a place value, it doesn't matter, and every number is represented on each column. So this is 8, this is 9. We have 1, right? But this is 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Thank you, Bala Girl, for the roses. Thank you so much for the roses. What's the point of this toy? Ips! This is not a toy. It is a tool. What's the point of a tool? It's to help you learn. That's what it is. Thank you, Ips, for this question. But it is not a toy. You may think it's a toy. There's a lot of things people think is a toy, but this is a tool. Thank you, Stephanie. It is a calculator. It is a math tool. It looks complicated. Did you not understand the words that came out of my mouth? Oh, where did I go?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So here we go. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Precious web. Looks are deceiving. I know, right? I know, because it's this one.
More than meets the eye.
Yep. So we have 5. The top is a value of 5. We have 6. Top 5 plus 1 is 6. We have 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. We have 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And we have 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. Thank you, Osa, for the follow. So thank you. But can you just use your fingers to add? You could use your fingers to add. I'm not judging. I don't know why you're judging. You can use whatever you want to add. I'm just showing you how to use the abacus. Just the 2 lives and you'll get it. Yeah, totally. So, deceli, we will get to that in a little bit. Those are things that we need to understand. Is you need to understand how to move the beads. If you know how to read, you will know how to move the beads. After learning how to move the beads, we need to understand process. We need to understand how to make a 5. After you know how to make a 5, you'll know how to make a hello board. 7. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, board. If you, those are some pillars that you need to understand. And so then you could do, thank you, board, for checking in. For those of you that are interested, go ahead and check in on the orange heart me around my top of my head. So then you can become part of my community. So we are going to continue on. We have our, if we have 9 on the abacus, I want to take away 1. So what we're doing is we're trying to, if you know how to add, you know how to subtract. There we go. That's the idea. So we added, we go to the horizontal bar, right? When we subtract, we've got to go away from the horizontal bar. So then we have 9, take away 1. So our answer is 8, right? And then we can do it again. If I have 3 on the abacus, I add 3 to the abacus, and then what I want to do is I want to take away the 2. Can I take away the 2? Yes, I could take away the 2, 1, 2, and I do that, right? And so what we're doing is I'm showing you concepts and I'm showing you how easy it is to work the abacus. For those of you that are interested, thank you so much for your patience. We're going to do 4, right? We do 4 on the abacus and want to take away the 3. 1, 2, 3, take away the 3. And so we continue on. So if you know how to add, you know how to subtract. Again, when we add the 5, what are we doing? When you add the 5, we want to have 3 plus the 5. All we got to do is bring it to the horizontal bar. And then we do the 6. 6 is what? 6 is 1 beat on top and 1 beat on the bottom. So 6 is 1 beat on top, 1 beat on the bottom. But if I already have 2 here, then I'm going to bring it together. I want to add the 6 plus the 5 plus the 1 is equal to 6. So when we're looking, right, and you want to subtract, we just move it away. Take away the 1, take away the 1, take away the 5. You bring it together, you move it apart. That's what that is. Right? And so when we're looking, right, we have the 7. 7 is what? 7 is 1 beat on top and 2 beats on the bottom. When we add, what does that mean? We have 1 on the abacus. I want to add 7. To add the 7, it's 1 beat on top, 2 beats on the bottom. That's what that is. So our answer is 8. So if you want to subtract 7, all you got to do is move it away like that. So 1 beat on top, 1 and 2 beats on the bottom to subtract. Board, level 17. Well done, well done. So we have 8, right? 8 is 1 beat on top, 3 beats on the bottom. If I have 1 already on the abacus, I have 1 beat on top, 3 beats on the bottom. You bring it together like that. That's what 8 is. So my final answer is 9. Hello, Dr. Babu. Hello. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. For those of you that are interested, go ahead and check in the orange heart me over here to be a part of my community. Thank you, everybody. So my brain is hurting. Oh, you should take some Advil or drink some water. So maybe you should drink some water. Hello, Riley. Thank you for the follow. You could drink some water. Maybe you're dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, it's always good to hydrate. Like after you wake up, you should drink like 32 ounces of water. That's what I heard. So we have. Sometimes in school, they're said, well, you need to memorize how to make a 9. I'm like, why do you need to memorize how to make a 9? Well, on the abacus, we don't need to memorize. So we have 8. We have 1 on the abacus. I want to add the 8. I just need to see if I have enough to add the 8. And I do. All I got to do is add the 8. Right? If I have 2 on the abacus, I want to add 7. I just need to take a look at my abacus to see if I have 7. 5 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Oh, I have 7 right there. And then it's the same thing with the 3. Right? If I have 3, I want to add 6. I don't need to memorize that 3 plus 6 is equal to 9. I don't need to memorize that. I don't need to memorize any extraneous stuff. The only thing I need to really remember is how to make a 5 and how to make a 10. So we could do it again. If I did 4 on the abacus, right? I want to add 5. What are we going to do? All you got to do is add the 5. Thank you, everybody, for liking the live. So we don't need to memorize how to make a 9. What we need to do is we need to understand what happens when there's not enough beads. That is the next one. So we're going to get into how to make a 5. There we go. How to make a 5. How to make a 5. Why are we going to do this? Why? Because we need to understand is if we don't have enough beads, what are we going to do? We can't just be stuck adding simply, right? What we want to do is we want to start bringing in some critical thinking. Yeah. If your brain hurts, then you got to do more critical thinking because we don't do enough critical thinking. We don't do enough critical thinking in math, which is interesting. In mainstream math, there's a lot of memorization in the lower grades. So what I want to do is I want to show you that you can start critical thinking as young as whatever you start counting. The reason why is because critical thinking is one of those things that it's good to develop. So here is 4 on the abacus. If I have 4 on the abacus and want to add another 4, when I add the 4, thank you, Hemi, for the follow. Thank you, Hemi, for the follow. So guess what? I don't want to add 4 here because that would be 44. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to utilize some concepts. This concept is how to make a 5. We know how to make a 5. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So guess what? If I have 4 on the abacus, right, I want to add 4 here. I'm adding 4 ones. I'm not adding 4 tens. I'm adding 4 ones, right? So I'm adding 4 ones here. I have no more room. What do? I have to utilize this 5. If I give you this nickel, that's too much. I need to take away the 1. So if I take away the 1, my final answer is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I could do it again on the abacus. I can add the 5 and I can take away the 1. So my final answer is 8. What do? We actually had to subtract in order to add. Just like drifting. I don't know if anybody drifts.
If you're going hard enough left, you'll find yourself turning right.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
Here's another way to explain this concept. I have 4 on the abacus. I have 4 on the abacus. I want to add these 4. You could do this. This is what mainstream math does, right? Mainstream math says, okay, you have 4, you have 4. Now you just count it all together. You could do that. You could do that. But in abacus world, what we do is we utilize this concept. We know how to make a 5. Right? To make a 5, we have to add the 1. The 1 has to come from somewhere. The 1 has to come from the previous number. If you take away 1 from the previous number and you add it to the bottom number to make a 5, we just did regrouping. Because we just did a small amount of regrouping, I've just now made 5. So if I take away the 1 and I add the 5, I've just done a regrouping, and now we understand that this is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. We could do it again. I do like this way better. So we have 3 on the abacus. I have 4, right? I want to add 4. You could count just like you do on your fingers. You could count 5, 6, 7, 8, right? You could do it, not a problem. Or understand the concept. If I have 3 on the abacus and I want to add 4, but there's not enough room to add the 4, what do? I have to take 1 away from 3. I have to take 1 away from the 3. I have to give away 1. So that means because I take it away from here, I can add it to my 4 to make a 5. So now I regrouped and I made a 5. So my final answer is 7. And I add my 5 up there. So what I'm doing is I'm regrouping at a smaller level. The idea for this is to understand how to reorganize your items, right? So what we're doing is we're doing a concept, how to make a 5. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. That is why we make a 5. And we could do it again, right? So even though I give you all of these numbers, this concept is still the same. Notice that I don't have to go here and be 2 plus doubles minus 1. I don't need to do strategies like that. What I need to do is understand, what do I do with the 4? So if I have 2 on the abacus and I have 4, right? Again, the concept is I want to make this a 5. To make this a 5, what do? I have to take away this one right here. I have to take away the 1 from the 2. I add it to my 4. Now I've made a 5. Now I've made a 5. Now I've made a 5. So my final answer is 6. So what we're doing is we're doing concepts. Concept is how to make a 5. So we get this concept. We teach the kids how to make a 5, but we never utilize it. In Abacus, we actually utilize it all the time. When you know how to add, you know how to subtract, right? When you know how to do regrouping, you'll know how to do more, right? We could do it again. So we have the 4. We do 1 on the Abacus, and we add the 4. Same thing. I want to make my bottom number a group of 5. To do that, I have to take away from the top and add it to the bottom. And now I've made a 5. So I take away 1 from the top and I add the bottom. I'm sorry, add the 5 at the top. And so now I've made a 5. We could do it again with a 3. Guess what? 3, you don't need to memorize 3 plus 3 because 3 plus 3 is another thing you have to memorize. But in Abacus, the only thing you have to memorize here is how to make a 3. Guess what? How do we make a 3? We make a 3 with a 2. So we got to get the 2 from somewhere. The 2 has to come from the previous number. So when we're looking, we have 3 plus 3. There it is. You can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could do that. That's a whole lot of counting up. But in Abacus world, what we actually do is we utilize this concept. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. The 2 has to come from somewhere. The 2 has to come from the previous number. So you give away 2 like that. Give away 2. So I regroup it and I made a 5. So now my answer is 6. We have 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. So what we're doing is we're understanding not to memorize 3 plus 3. What we're understanding is how to make a 5, right? Using the 3. And we could do it again. You don't need to memorize 4 plus 3, right? Is equal to 7. Don't memorize it, right? Understand how to use this 3. Why? Because if I have 4 on the abacus, right? If I have 4 on the abacus, I'm not going to do doubles minus 1 or doubles plus 1, right? What I'm going to do, or doubles minus 2, whatever. You're not going to do any of that. That's memorizing. What you're going to do is you're going to understand, how do I make a 5 out of this 3? To make a 5 out of this 3, I just got to take 2 away from the 4. So on the abacus, I take 2 away from the 4. And I add it to my 3. So my final answer becomes 5. Plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. So we could do it again. Well, let's try a bigger number. This is too easy. It makes complete sense until I see the card with, oh, really? So, if you're making, you take the difference to make the 5 and push, and push it down to counting. Yes, exactly. So what we did is we need 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So we know that that's 7. So we could do it again. Well, let's try a bigger number, right? That's a bigger number. It is, but guess what? The concept's all the same. 1, 3, 5, 7. We want to add 4,331. We add the 4 here, right? What we're doing is we're adding the 4. How do you add the 4? We know how to add the 4. Adding the 4 is plus the 5 minus the 1. Add the 3. We know how to add the 3. Remember how to add the 3? Adding the 3 was what? Plus the 5 minus the 2. And then we have 3 here. We have 1, 1, 1. That's 3 ones. And then we have another one. Thank you, Dante. Yes, that's what it is. Plus the 5 minus the 2. And then we have this one. Add the 1. So what is my final answer? What is my final answer? Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Welcome back. Thank you, Miss Fluffy. Yes, it is 5,688. Yes, thank you, Dante. Thank you, Precious Web. So what did I just do? I took a small concept like this, and I put it into any number. It's a small concept, but notice it goes everywhere, right? So what we're doing is the concept is very simple. The concept is simple, easy to use, simple to understand, right? And then we could do it again with the 2, right? When we're looking, we can do it again with the 2. Why? Because that's the other set. There's a set. This is a whole set. Understand how to make a 5? That's the whole set. So we do the 2. Same thing. If I have 4 on the abacus, I want to add the 2. The abacus tells you that there's not enough beads to add the 2 because I have 4 on the abacus. I want to add the 2. To add the 2, what do? I know I have to take away the 3 from somewhere. I have to make a 3 somewhere. The 3 has to come from the 4. The 3 has to come away from the 4 like that, right? Take it away from the 4 to make a 5. And that's what we do. So our final answer is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. I can do it, but would you understand it if I did it? You know what I mean? You can give me all the numbers you want, but the question is do you understand it if I tell you? I can show you, but that's not all the concepts. You don't know all the concepts. I'm just saying. So we have 3, 6, 7, 6, 4, 4. We only did one concept. There's another concept that we need to know. We need to know how to make a 10. So we have 3, 6, 7. Right? And then what are we going to do? We're going to add 6. All we got to do is add the 6. And then we add the 4. To make a 4, you need to plus the 10 minus the 6. So you plus the 10 minus the 6. I can't minus the 6 here. What do? I plus the 10 is plus the 1 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 9. Plus the 10 minus the 9. And then I want to plus the 4. Plus the 4 again is plus the 4 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 6. Plus the 10 minus the 6. So what's my answer? You know what I mean? There's steps that you need to know. There's concepts that you are passing through if you give me random questions. I can do it, not a problem. The answer is 1, 0, 1, 1. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wasn't trying to rush. No, that makes sense. But if you want me to show you, I could show you, not a problem. But if you want me to teach you, I can teach you concepts. Let me teach you the concepts as they come through. If you're willing to stay and to understand, this is incredible. I will tune. Okay, thank you, Dante. Yeah, but there are concepts that you need to understand. And the first thing is to understand the first one, right? And that's what I did here. The questions have to be curated. Incredible time I'm doing. Oh, hey, why did you start in the middle? Oh, hello, Laura. The reason why is because I have a label right here. I have a label right here. That label tells me it's the ones place. So when we're looking, I'm not being mad. I'm just letting you know. Because I get a lot of people that are like, my brain hurts, or this is too much, or this is complicated. It's not complicated if you know the concepts. That's the only reason why I get a little bit salty. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the hearts. It's just I don't want to rush the concepts. Everybody always wants to go into everything else, but there's paths, right? Just like when we do learning math, right? Learning math when we were kids, there's, little small steps. So that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you small steps. So, Laura, this is the label. We have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000s. And so when we're looking, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top is a value of 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Dante, if you're really interested, I do have a book for adults. If you're really interested, I do have a book for adults, and it goes through all of the concepts. So when we're looking, and that's what I did. I don't know if you were here for that, but I do have, and what it does is it does everything from adding and subtracting. It builds your confidence and promotes critical thinking. So this is my book that I created. This is all about Abacus, and it tells you how to make a 5, right? How to make a 5, how to make a 10, right? How to make a 10 is carrying over and borrowing. And then after that, I give you the summary. If you know how to add, you know how to subtract. After that, you can go into understanding what a two-step equation is, right? Once you understand the two-step equation, then I give you practice problems. And these are all the activities for all the practice problems. We can get into bigger numbers like this, right? And then the hidden words. So it's up to you. I do have this available in my TikTok shop if you're wanting to learn more. So that's what this is. This is my Abacus for Adults, and I give you activities. Thank you for the follow, and I give you answers in the back of the book, right? But like this one, yeah, I was so amazing. I'm strong in arithmetic, but I never knew. Oh, yeah. You know what? If you're strong in arithmetic, then this would be the perfect one for you. Just to get you started on Abacus, and because after you do adding and subtracting, then you can do multiplication and division. But that book is coming. I just haven't done it yet. Wake, bake, and unintentional. Yeah. Hello, miracles. Hello, jingle jangle. Yes. Unintentional. Yes. I get that a lot. Unintentional abacus learning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Step 2, greet the day, smile, and say, Good morning, city! Good morning, city!
Unintentional abacus learning. Yes. How often do I go live? I go every day, twice a day. It's one in the morning and one in the evening. Yeah, I try to get to the East Coasters and I try to get to the West Coasters. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm in LA. So, I try my best to get in early so I can try to get to the East Coasters cuz I know 12 o'clock my time is very, very late for the East Coasters. That's like 3 in the morning. I have people learning abacus at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, which is crazy. Miracles. Do I buy an abacus when I buy? Yes, you can buy the abacus when you buy the book. Hold on, Miracles. You have the option. You have the option of either buying the 7-column abacus or the 13-column abacus. That is me. Yeah, hold on. I know. The 3 books. Yeah, hold on just a minute. Cause I appreciate the early live so much. Oh, thank you, Precious. Yes, I'm trying my best. It's sometimes a little rough to wake up early, just because I go to bed so late. But I understand. I understand. So yeah, for DeSally, it's up to you. I definitely seen you live at 1 a.m. on the East Coast multiple times. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes they will keep going all the way to like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. And I feel bad. So it's like, okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get in a little bit earlier. Definitely buy an abacus. Much easier to learn. Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's up to you to choose which one you want. You could do the 7-column abacus or you could do the 13-column abacus. It depends on what your liking is. If you like, I like the colors. I like the colors. But just so you know, when you start getting into division, it gets a little difficult to work with the colorful beads because there's not enough room. So that's why I would go to the 13-column one. But if you like the colorful one, it's a great starting point. And if you're okay with buying another abacus, then I would buy this one at a later time, if that makes sense. You could do both. You could buy both and just start with this one first. And as my books come through, you can utilize the 13-column one. So those are the 2 options. It is up to you. But those are my thoughts. I do like the colorful one because it is easier to see. But I do know, I know it's difficult, right? So it's up to you if you want to have 2 abacus or 1 abacus. Obviously, I have 2 because I'm selling both. I started off, so just so you know, I've been teaching abacus for 20 years. I actually started off with a 23-column abacus. And that's what I started off with. And then when I saw this, I go, ooh, that's pretty. You know what I mean? And I do sell this one because I think it's more usable when you get to the higher numbers. So those are up to you. And they work exactly the same. I'm interested in improving my double-digit mental multiplication and potentially triple. Oh, that's easy. Yeah. Should I buy the big one or the little one? As I said before, if you like the little one because of the colors, it will take you all the way to the 10,000s. If you want to just go, if you don't care for the colors, then I go straight to the 13-column one. And the 13-column one, the 7-column one, it works exactly the same. It's got labels. It's got these labels. So it depends if you wanted to, because this will take you for a big portion of adding and subtracting and some multiplication. Because you could do multiplication that ends in 5 digits. If you wanted to, if you really like this but you don't like the dots where they're located, you can modify the dots. So it's up to you. And then what I did is I modified the dots. I colored in the existing dots and I relabeled them to be my ones, my thousands, and my millions. So it is up to you. That includes double digit by double digit. Yeah, it's only 4 digits, right? It only goes, yeah. So I like the small one. Yeah, you know what? I do like the small one because it fits nice in your pocket. Like I do a lot of content outside, and so it's nice to fit this into your pocket. This is a little bit cumbersome. I don't carry this one as much. But I do this because it's just easy. It's nice and small, but it goes up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's up to you. So there's many. I'm not pushing either or. It all depends on preference. But going back, if you're looking for when we do division, that's when you need the bigger abacus. When you do division, you will need a bigger abacus. It's just because you need the extra columns to help you track things. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. So okay, so miracles. What I would suggest, because you're always talking about grouping and regrouping. This is the path. This is what I would suggest, because you already know how to do your 5s. I would recommend you could do plus the 10, minus the 10, because these are regrouping, and then we have the adults. You could do that. I don't have the extra 10 plus, but that's kind of... I don't have the extra 10 plus, but this is what it would look like. I don't know if you want to wait for it. So this is the 10 plus extra. Extra just means that you just have extra practice, and it just looks like this. That's all it looks like. And this is about grouping and regrouping, but it's single digits. So my daughter has a 10 by 10 abacus. Same concept you use teacher? No. No, but you can do some modifications on it if you're willing to do it. If you want to do some modifications.
You need modifications! Modify! Modify!
I can show you how to modify it. Miracles, did that make sense? So these were so hold on, Laura. This is what I would do. I would do these two, because these are like teaching, or if you want, you can get the extra one, but I don't have the extra one in stock right now. So it's up to you. We can wait on it. You want to take a screenshot of that? Okay, so Laura, you have a 10 by 10 abacus. Yes, yes. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, so you could do modifications. Let me show you how to modify it. The reason why is because it's just different. Yeah, 10 by 10 means that it is a 1-to-1. And I don't know how they do... This guy teaches kids this again. I don't think they've ever taught it. Smoke. I don't think they've ever taught abacus. All right. So here is what I would do is, and then I don't know how place values work on that sort of abacus. Oh, let me move this. So Laura, I think they have, really? I don't know. I never learned it in school. I only learned how to memorize, and then I had to, my dad wanted to open up a learning center, and so because my dad wanted up a learning center, he said, I have to teach it. I was like, what? So I learned how to do the abacus, and this is what I got. So I look forward to purchasing. TikTok won't let me save my address. Okay, not a problem, Dante, not a problem. Yeah, thank you. No, thank you. I hope I didn't sound salty. It's just, I know that people want to know like other numbers, and they don't realize that numbers come in patterns. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate your patience. So, Laura, what I would do is I would tape 5. Hello, Shane. I would tape 5 beads together, right? I think they're teaching us with those blocks. Yeah, they teach with the blocks, but they don't teach the abacus. So I would tape it like this, okay, Laura? And then I'd keep it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, 5. So I would ignore these ones. And then what I would do is I tape it again. Tape 5 together, right? And then what you do is I would change the orientation like this. So then you can mimic the abacus. You can mimic the soroban. Does that make sense? So then we have our string. thank you, Laura, for the rose. You have your string like this, right? Just like the horizontal bar. And then what you do is exactly the same. So you could modify it or you can buy an abacus. It's up to you. So it'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you ignore the bottom one. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter, right? So we have 9. Then you do 10, right? 11, 12, 13. I'm sorry. 10, right? That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then this would be 64. Yeah, you can modify it. It's a really good stepping stone. It's a really good stepping stone. Because the reason why I do recommend this is because they could see the value of 5 up here. You know what I mean? If they could see the value of 5 up here, then they're going to understand that this is 5. So it's a good stepping stone. And then if you want to buy an abacus, it's up to you. Or you could just use this one. I would label, so you know how there's a dot here? I would label one of your columns to be your ones place. And then you would change the orientation. Yeah, I think okay, yeah. I always thought it was candy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, LD, how's it going? Good morning. Thank you so much for the roses. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Step 2, greet the day, smile, and say, Good morning, city! Good morning, city!
Woo! You're in Canada. What part in Canada are you in? You're in Vancouver, right? I actually grew up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Vancouver. Oh, there's no snow in Whistler, yeah? I wonder if there's snow in Whistler. That's the best place to go snowboarding. If you ever go snowboarding, that's where I would go. But it's September. I don't know if there's any snow in Whistler. If you go snowboarding. Go snowboarding. That'd be awesome. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Laura. Yes. So that's what I would do is I would modify it so then you can do it. It's beautiful. No snow, just sunshine. No. In the mountains. In the mountains. In the mountains, there's like, I wonder if there's snow in the mountains. Just like in Mammoth. You know how Mammoth has snow? I wonder if they have snow right now. Beautiful sunshine. Yeah. Oh, I don't have it. I'm at a convention center near Stanley Park. Oh, okay. Interesting. There was a coffee shop I went to called the Blunt Brothers. I don't know if they're still there, but that was like 25 years ago. The last time I went to Vancouver was about 25 years ago. And it was for a conference. It was a web developing conference. All right. So, we talked about that. We're going to go into our last thing, which is how to make a 10. How to make a 10 is a same concept. You're going to understand it. But because we know how to make a 5, we're going to learn how to make a 10. And it's the same. It's very interesting. So making a 10, how do we do it? We know how to 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, right? Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Thank you so much.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
No, I did not do a marathon overnight. I don't think I'm going to do the marathon overnight. I think it won't be beneficial for my health. I don't think I'm going to do it. There are some people that do it, and I'm like, I don't know. I did it once. I did 6 hours, I believe. I did 6 hours. And if I was to run a marathon, I think I can run a marathon. My fastest marathon running was about 4 hours and 30 minutes. So if I go as fast as I run, there we go. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it again. I don't know. I'm still experimenting on the whole lives. I'm still experimenting. Maybe I'll try it again. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning. Good evening. It's evening for you, isn't it?
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Good morning, wall. Morning, ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Okay, we're going to continue on to understanding how to make a 10. Making a 10 means what? Is carrying on, borrowing. Carrying on. Yes, it's evening. Evelyn, where are you right now? I gotta keep track of this. Because I have, yeah, because like Sir Patrick is in Uganda. No, it's Ghana. Yeah. Where are you located? Oh, Nigeria. Nigeria. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, so for those of people that are outside of the country and you want like, so Evelyn also does Abacus as well. Thank you so much for tagging me on all of your posts. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And we just talk about Abacus. Your class is so interactive. I love your classes. It's great to see the kids doing all of the Abacus stuff. Yes. So we're going to continue on. How to make a 10. So what does that mean? We know how to make a 10. We know how to make a 10. You'll see. You'll see. So here we want to add a 10. Now in Abacus world, we understand this concept. How to make a 10 is 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. I love. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am trying to spread the good word of the Abacus. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Welcome. I am here to introduce Abacus to the Matrix.
Welcome to the real world.
So what we're doing is we're going to understand how to make a 10. Why? Because we don't have enough beads. I have 9 on the Abacus. I have no more room to add another 9. The question is 9 plus 9. So when we're looking, right, we want to add the 9. We're not going to do this. Thank you, Billy, for the follow. This is actually 99. This is not what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to add 9 to this ones place. To add the 9, let me set that up. I have 9 on the Abacus, right? I have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. We have 9 on the Abacus. I have 9 on the Abacus. Because I have 9 on the Abacus, right, I want to add another 9. Now you could, oh, I'm missing a QB thingy. You could, oh, I don't. Here it is. You could count it. You could. You could do what mainstream math is and you can count up, which is fine. I'm not here to judge. Or you can learn how to regroup. So in Abacus world, we learn how to regroup early. What do? We know how to make a 9. To make a 10 out of this 9, we got to take away 1. We got to get 1 from somewhere. The 1 has to come from somewhere. The 1, see you later, Michael. See you later.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Thank you. Hello, Zatra. So to make a 9, to make a 10 with the 9, we need to add the 1. The 1 has to come from somewhere. The 1 will come from the previous number. So I take away 1 from here. So I have to give away 1. Notice when I add it to my 9 down here, I have now made a 10. Hello, Zetra. So when we're looking, we add the 10. So my final answer is 17. Well, IDK, apparently you don't because you're in my room. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for checking in. Zatra, thank you so much for checking in. Okay, so let's do it again. So we don't need to memorize 9 plus 9. What we need to understand is we need to understand the concept. 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. Oh, interesting. So 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. Okay, remember this. We're not going to memorize 9 plus 9. So let's do it again. If I had 7 plus 9, again, 7 plus 9. Adding the 9 to here, there's not enough room, right? 7 plus 9 is what we're doing. 7 plus 9, what are we going to do? We know 7 on the Abacus. 5 plus 2 is 7. We want to add the 9. Remember, how do you make a 10? To make a 10, we need to take away 1, right? We take away 1 to make a 10. So what do? We have to subtract 1 from the 7 to make a 10. So we finally made a 10. So that's what it is. So what we just did is, my final answer is 16. Oh, that's great. Wait, Christopher, what happened? Wait, what? Did I miss something? I don't have the new, wait, what? Christopher, one of your comments was filtered. She asked if she could have one to use at school. And what happened? Did they give it to her? Hello, Herb Smoke, thank you. Beads make it 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. So what happened, Christopher? What happened after that? So what I just did is I showed you a concept. The concept is you need to make a 10 here. So that's what we did. We understood 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. So what happened is if I had, let's do it again. If I had 6 on the abacus, right, I'm not going to memorize what 6 plus 9 is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to understand how to make a 10, right? So we have 6 on the abacus. Always you have to use the top bead. You have to use the top one. Where do you get the 1 from? If I have 9 here, I want to make 10. To make a 10, I need to add 1. To add the 1, where do I get that from? Just like we're going to speak to our teacher. Good luck! Good luck, Christopher! Hello, Purple. Thank you so much for the cubes make it complicated for me. Oh, sorry. But I'm just showing you there's no way to understand it yet. You need to learn the 1. Yeah. Where is the 6? The 6 is right here. 5, 6. There's a 6. This is 6. Good luck, Christopher! Speak to our teacher. It's exciting. That's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, so we have the 9, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so what are we going to do? We're going to take away the 1. We take away the 1 from here, and we add it to here. We add the 9. This is now made a 10. This is now a 10. So my final answer is 15. Yes, Max. The top bead is a value of 5. So when we're counting, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's what 5 is. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 is a 1 and a 0. Thank you, Precious. IDK, you're even more confused now. Well, that's what happens when you come late to class. Yeah. So, when we're looking, we're just going to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep watching. Yeah. I'm always live. There's a ones right here. This is my ones label. That ones label tells me it's the ones place. So this is 10. This is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Thank you, Zatra. Ah. Thank you, Zatra. You just answered it. You go right ahead. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah. So when we're looking, right, when we're looking, this is what 6 is, right? 5 plus 1 is 6. That's what 5 plus 1 is 6. 8 plus 8? Okay. So, thank you, Precious. Okay, 8, right? 8 we know is what? 8 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 2. So, again, if I did 8 on the abacus, that's not 8, there's 8. 8, right? 5, 6, 7, and then there's 8. And we do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, what happens? What happens? Well, we know how to make a 10. To make a 10 is what? 2 plus 8 is make a 10. 2 plus 8 is make a 10, right? 2. We got to get the 2 from somewhere. The 2 has to come from the previous number. The 2 comes from here, right? The 2 comes from here. That's what 2 is. So I made a 10. There's my 10. So always go from the bottom. Always use the bottom one to make your 10. So I made my 10. My final answer is 16. Keep watching, it'll make sense. I don't understand at first. I'm loving it. No, IDK wasn't rude. IDK was just mentioning that they were going to leave. That's all. Good morning, Frank. Did I sleep? I did. I did. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, apartment. Good morning, doorway. Morning wall, morning ceiling. Good morning, floor. Ready to start the day.
Precious, did that make sense? Did that make sense? So what we're doing is we're making a 10 here. And we're rearranging. So in mainstream, what happens? Mainstream, in public school, what do? They say, well, count up. You could count up, not a problem. You could count 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You could do that. And it's interesting, they start the kids as counting up. But when Abacus comes around, Abacus doesn't tell the kids to count up. The Abacus tells you how to do the concept of how to make a 10. Thank you, Zetra. Thank you, Jess, so much for the roses. So does that make sense? So you need to know these concepts, and it doesn't matter which number it is. If you know how to make a 7, you know how to make a 10 out of the 7. All these partners are the same. 5 plus 5, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 7, 1 plus 9. So when you're looking, right, we could do it again. Let's do it with the 4. Now the 4, you want to go with 4. Hold on. Right? So in mainstream math, they say, well, 8 is closest to the 10. But in Abacus, you don't, right? In Abacus, you keep a running total. Just because the first number, we don't flip-flop, right? We go from top down. So when we're looking at it, we're not going to say, oh, 8 is so close to 10, just make it a 2. Hello, Reaper. It's too early. So we have our number, right? We have 4. Again, we know this. We know how to make a 4. To make a 4, we use a 6. We go from top down. We take the 6 from somewhere. The 6 has to come from the 8, right? The 8 cannot make a 2 because where's the 2 coming from? You haven't seen the next number yet. You know what I mean? So always go from top down. Take it from the 4. The 4 is what you want to do. The 4 is you want to make a 10. So you got to get 6 from the 8. You take the 6 away from the 8, like that. You take it away and you give it to the 4. Now I've made a 10. So my final answer is 12. Why? Because you don't want to go up and down. So like this question here, we're not going to go up and down. You take this number here and you figure that out. You know how to add the 9 to make a 10. You know how to add the 4 make a 10. We don't need to make this as a, We don't need to make these as friendly numbers. We don't need to be like, 3 plus 27 is equal to 30. We don't need to do this. Thank you, Ash, for the heart me. Right? We don't need to do that. What we need to do is focus in the 9 and the 4. Let's do that question. Thank you, Zetra. Thank you, Jess, for the heart, for the roses. So 27 plus 494, right? We're adding that. When we add that, what are we going to do? We have 27 on the abacus. We add the 9. We know how to add the 9. Adding the 9 is plus the 9 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 1. So you plus the 10 minus the 1. We made this a 10. We could do it again. There's not enough room to add 4. This shows me I have no room to add the 4. We know how to plus the 4. Plus the 4 is equal to what? Plus the 10 minus the 6. Minus the 6 plus the 10. So my final answer, what's my final answer? What's my final answer? All right, that's my last one. Almost, Frank. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Precious. Thank you, LD. Thank you, Frank. Yes, 121. That's the answer. So when we're looking, right, 121. What I just did is understood how to do the 9 and I understood how to do the 10. We don't need to flip-flop, right? Wow, we're at 20K already? That's fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for liking the live. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you concepts, and that's what the concept is. The concept is how to make a 10, and we're now utilizing it. We're understanding how to utilize how to make a 10. You know how to make a 10? You know how to make a 5? Everything is golden. That's all you need to do. You only need to know this. It's crazy to me is that Abacus is common core concepts made visually. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's, yeah. And the fact that you can see your numbers, it's just amazing. And yeah, my boys, I don't tell them that they have to do I don't tell them that they have to do mental math, but they're pretty good in math. But again, it gives them room to understand calculus. It gives them room to understand algebra. It gives them room to understand other complex math. Is this basically to do math easier and quicker? Yes. Do you ever see those kids do this? Those kids that do this is doing abacus math. All right. I think the schools don't use it because they were never known that it's there. I believe it's because they don't know that this even existed. So I am here to introduce it to the Matrix.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah. And so, and that was the thing, is like trying to figure out how to make it more mainstream, try to figure out how to make it more modern. That's what it is. I'm trying to make it more modern. You just did left to right on purpose. Is that how it works? You can go right to left. You could go right to left if you want to. For adults, I tell them, go to both ways. Go left to right or right to left. And you're going to see your way to which way is easier for you. My third grader, or what would you recommend? I would recommend the mazes. Either the mazes. I would recommend the mazes. Christopher. It's a third grader. I would probably do the 4-digit maze. Third grader. Yeah, I would do that first. I think the adult book is a little bit too fast. I think the adult book is a little bit too fast. Because I don't give you enough. There's not a lot of questions in the beginning part, because I'm assuming that you know how to make a 10, and I know assuming that you already make it. If your third grader is quick, then you might try the introduction to abacus for adults. But they have to be really solid in their numbers. The reason why I say that. Yeah. Oh, that's great, LD. So then, if you try the abacus for adults and it's too fast, then we're discussing place value, and she did it really well. Oh, good. So the place value, you might want to try this one. Maybe she'll pick this up pretty quick. You could try that. You could, yeah, depending on if she picked up that really quick, then maybe you should try the adult one. I haven't done my specific abacus for the individual grades yet. I can't stop. No. You can't shop TikTok in Canada. Nope. No, but I do have, I don't know how long you're there for, but I do have this over there. So you can find that. Did you make these? Yes, these are all my books. I've done 14 books. And so I have a whole collection. This is my collection. So it started off with preschool and then follow the line. But then people are like, you got to make an adult one. So I'm going to make a new line. Well, yeah. The good thing I bought my books and yeah. 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 So these are all my books and I created everything. From the picture to my books itself. Yeah. And the way I break it up, I believe it's very it takes some time to break it up. This is not AI made. This is all me. Yeah. I'm impressed, but you just dropped a mic. Ah! 3 more days and okay, LD. Yeah. You're not there. Yeah, you sound like you're moving to Canada, but you're not. My daughter struggles with math and she's in 3rd grade. I would recommend the 3-digit. Do you restock the coloring? Yes, I am restocking. I'm restocking. I didn't know anybody would enjoy the coloring book. I made the coloring book and it was just like, it's not selling, so I didn't know. So yes, I am going to restock all of my books. I am restocking all of my books. I do have a Halloween one as well. But this one is only counting. There's no adding and subtracting. And what I did is I have like all these activities for the Halloween one. But yeah, I've been trying to make more books. Yeah. Oh, interesting, LD. Look at Frankenstein. Yeah. Yeah. I bought the clip art on that one. And then yeah, these are all Halloween. This is a Halloween based one. Thank you. Thank you, Zartra. Yeah. So this was meant for kids that are like 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 if they like, stuff. If they like, counting and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, I've been teaching Abacus for 20 years, and then trying to show the Matrix what an Abacus is has been a real eye opener for me. And I do appreciate all the experiences and the comments and the questions, because even those comments that are like, I'm confused, or this doesn't make sense, or that all helps me understand to make my teaching better. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. You're still here. It is so late for you. It is so late for you. And I try to make it interactive because I feel like Abacus should be interactive. I do have questions like this. This is kind of boring, but I do thank you, I Heart Yellow Cake. Thank you so much. So that's what I try to do is I try to make it interactive. So this is like a spin the wheel. You take a paper clip. And I'm going to go pretty soon because I got to get ready for class. And then wherever it lands, you take this number and you put it here and then you work it out. So I try to make activities. I get inspired by other people doing activities and then I make it more Abacus. What makes it Abacus is the questions themselves. The questions all have to be curated. That's why you have to be careful with just random questions. Because you could do the random questions if you know all of your formulas. If you don't have all of your formulas, then it'll be very difficult for you to understand how to do the Abacus. Yeah, the questions have to be curated in the beginning, but towards the end when they become solid, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, interactive activities are the best. Oh yeah, I really like your interactive activities. Yours is really good too, where they start talking about the spider. That was really good. Yeah, so thank you. I downloaded an app last night and started learning. Oh, that's great, Christopher. That's great. The verbiage is different. They call adding the 5, they call this little friends or friends. Little friends. And then they call this one big friends. So the verbiage is different, and I don't use that verbiage because I'm trying to make it more mainstream. What does Abacus mean? And why is it called? I've never... Yeah, big friends, little friends. Yeah, this is the big friends, this is the little friends. Yeah. Friends of 5. This is the friends of 5. Friends of 5 is making. So what does Abacus mean? Abacus, I think, means pebbles, I think. And what it was is... Why is it called that? Because back in Mesopotamia, they were using pebbles to count and to do trading. That's why. So this is big. This is friends of 5, and then this is friends of 10. Sometimes they call it family. It means sandbox? Okay. abacus means to do better math. Yeah. So when you go through I'm not there to, people have been asking me to create an app as well. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Hello, Drew. Welcome back. Thank you, Ty. It is actually really cool. It is. It is really cool because you can visualize your numbers. So when we're looking, yeah. So yeah, Christopher, the verbiage is a little different. The verbiage is a little different. But that's it. But yeah, you'll be able to keep up with it. Cool. You should. I think the physical abacus and the workbooks are much better. Yes. Yeah. I'm still in the making books phase. Later, easily workable to the curriculum. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do is I wanted to try to figure out how to make it more into a curriculum. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to post some of the activities that I have, like online activities for the books, and I was thinking about that. And then what I do is I like to make little games. So, but for other than that, like it's just everything just takes time, and that's the problem, right? Like going live, teaching everybody, showing new people. Could you do an example how it's done? Yes. This will be my last one. Okay. So we have our question. I don't know if you can see that. Thank you, Ty. All right. Thank you, Ty, for the goat and the TikTok. All right, and the headband. All right. So we have this question. When's my next live? Later tonight. So right now it's 8:40. Right now it's 8. So in about 12 hours, I will come back live. 12 hours from now. Thank you, Jess. So let's do this. All right. You're going to have to tell me these numbers. Okay, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Yeah, 12 hours from now, I'll be on live. And I got to go. This is my last question. For sure. All right. So what number is this? Tell me what number you think this is. We have the first number. What number do you think that is? I'm so excited. What number do we think this is? We know, thank you, Precious. It is 496. So on the abacus, we're going to do 496. That's what that is, right? What is our next number? This one we're going to subtract. So what is our next number? Thank you, LD. What is our next number? So our next number is 271. So we take away 271. So all we got to do is take away 200, take away 7, take away 1. What is my final answer? My final answer is 225. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Precious. Easy, right? Simple. Simple to use, easy to understand. But see, it's all about what you have. Do you have enough numbers? Do you have enough beads? That's all it is. Do you have enough beads? And that's what this is. So the book itself goes you through step by step on how to do the abacus. And it goes all the way to adding, subtracting. Thank you, Peggy, for the follow. Thank you, Bulba, for the follow. Yep. Does that make sense, Ty? And so I'm going to head out. I got to head out. I got to get ready for class. I have 2 students. Yep. And they just started their abacus journey. Thank you, Christopher. No, thank you. I appreciate the compliments. I have that book waiting at home. Oh, Dawn. Stop. Thank you, Precious. Not a problem. Not a problem, Ty. Thank you so much. See you later, Jess. Thank you so much, Cetra. Yeah. Oh, Don, you're such a big child. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Okay, but I am going to head out. Thank you so much for everybody joining. This was just my morning abacus, morning math. That's what it is, morning math.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are killing me. I can't keep smiling like this anymore. I am exhausted. I think I need a break. A little break? Okay.
That's my new soundbite. You like that? All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. Thank you again. I will see you all in my next live. It will probably be in about 12 hours from now. So whatever time it is now, add 12 hours, and I'll probably be back on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.